Now, from the first hospital where I was admitted, before I left that hospital, I understood that I was fighting a spiritual battle. I understood that my ex-husband had actually convinced everybody close to me that I had a mental issue. He's a medical practitioner, though he's not a psychiatrist. He's not even in the UK. He never came until I left the UK. But he was in his station in Saudi Arabia, calling the whole world and giving them updates of what he told the doctors to say. He never came to that place. And they opted to believe him. I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm a human being. At least somebody you know, somebody you've known for many years, like my siblings, my children, my colleagues, my secondary school classmates. I mean, if you know somebody for many years and the person is not talking out of the person you know how to be, and somebody else is telling you, somebody that's married her that you don't even know, you don't have a relationship with, is telling you that's your friend, that's your sister, that's your mother is mentally unstable. And the same woman is saying, they are holding me against my will here. Please, there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. I have marital issues with that man. I have filed for divorce. I know he's after my life. And they were like, what's she talking about? They opted to believe him. So when he told them that I wanted to scam them by asking them to give me money directly, all of them, even my siblings, my close relations, my friends, my colleagues, my acquaintances, they believed him. And they just said, okay, I should send them the flight attendant, the flight, what's going on? My flight lady, I should send them her details, which I did later. Along the line, I think when I left for the second hospital, that was on the 11th day, that was when my twin brother came into the UK and he was calling me that he's in the UK, where am I, and stuff like that. In the second hospital too, my daughter was saying, she's coming to the hospital and I said no. For the past almost 2 weeks, I've cried out. Nobody was believing me. And you know this thing with white people, unlike the Africans here, I just don't know. They tend to believe people around you more than yourself. That's what I saw anyway. They don't know me. So they assume that, okay, your family members should know you better. Whatever they tell you is the truth. Whatever they tell them is the truth. And so at that point, I knew that if this man has convinced these people that I have a mental issue, he's not a psychiatrist, he never came to the UK, and for the past almost 2 weeks, they believed him. What chances did I stand that if these people come here, they are not going to tell the hospital that, can we just keep her back to monitor and see? I knew that was a possibility. And so I never agreed to see any of them. I never told them when I left the hospital. I never told them how I was moving. I just needed to come back home. I needed to come back to familiar territory. Can you believe that my ex-husband got himself into WhatsApp platforms? My alumni from university platform, my alma mater from secondary school, he found himself inside the platform. He got one or two persons inside the platform and was inside those platforms and was giving them updates that whatever I tell them, they should not believe, that I am lying, I am mentally unstable, and that if I'm asking for money, that what do I want to use the money for? That I want to scam them. Can you believe that he even reached out to my place of work at the university? We have an ASU platform. We have two ASU platforms. We have two Faculty of Engineering platforms. And I think we have two departmental platforms or one. Can you believe that the, what's it called now? I was removed from those platforms. I was taken because he somehow reached out to them. He reached out to them. There was one of my colleagues in school where I work is his close friend. Or will I say he made friends with him? And he was giving him information too, that look, I want to scam people and all that. Tell the school they should remove her, and they remove. In my time of need, I needed people to believe that I am absolutely fine. The only problem with me was that I wasn't being treated. I wasn't being given proper medication. I was being forced. They wanted to force medication on me, which was not necessary. I wasn't given food to eat. I was left unattended to. And I needed to leave that place. That was the only issue I had. So in the airport, the only person I trusted was my friend from Nigeria who stood his ground and said, that woman is not a mad woman. I know her. She has never said a sentence off track. He understood that I was undergoing a spiritual attack. My other friends, my few friends, my Christian friends that were praying for me understood I was undergoing a spiritual attack. And so, even in the airport, I knew that so many hitches just for me not to fly, and I missed my third booking again. I was frustrated. I said, Lord, will I ever get back to Nigeria? Then my twin brother was busy calling my phone. Where you dey now? You see where you dey? Where you dey? You say they need to treat you well. Nah, I don't leave America, come UK. You no want tell me where you dey. I say, since I've been crying and shouting, I snapped my body. I snapped the pus oozing out of my body, sent to my own siblings, and they did not believe me. I said, you're coming to the UK when I'm leaving. Do you want to come and take me back to America? You want to take me to America? Or you want to escort me to Nigeria? I offed my phone. I will not trust anybody. At that point, I will not trust anybody until I go home, until I got to familiar territory. Can I shock you that finally, by the grace of God, I got all my requirements, I got my COVID certificate, and I was able to get on the plane in the night. The next flight to Nigeria that day, that afternoon, the next one was in the night. Nobody sent any money to me. I was not able to upgrade my flight to business class or first class. So I had to go by the economy, and my flight route was from UK to Dubai and Dubai to Nigeria. So I had about 18 hours flight, 18 good hours flight. Remember, in the second hospital, when they started their abracadabra again, because if you remember, I said a few hours after, when they knew that, in fact, from the airport, when I was absconded by the police and they insisted to take me back to the other hospital, I said no. And they now reluctantly allowed me to go to a nearby hospital to the airport. At that place, once the police saw me, once they got to me in the airport, they had to send message back to the cunningly wayo ex-husband and his cohorts and his demonic colleagues, that they found where I am again. So just a few hours after I got to the next hospital, they started their abracadabra again. And in that hospital again, my last video before this one, I said in the night I was taken upstairs again to the 5th floor, to a psychiatric floor again, a psychiatric ward again, under lock and key. Still in that same ward, I was neglected again for the second time. So you can imagine my state. I'm being left with pus oozing out of my body. I'm not being given medication. But at least in the second hospital, I was given food. They just kept me there. And anything I said, you'll be sectioned, you'll be just trying how. One of the doctors said, in fact, when we section you, you will never get out of this place again. That was their plan. Their plan was to incarcerate me until they finally kill me. This is medical violence, medical wickedness, which is being done, not be today. Not be today. So, let me stop here for now. I'll continue in the next video. God bless you.